Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna
Hare
Prabhu.
Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam.
Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna Prabhu Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam. Okay, Dandavat Pranam.
Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam. Om Ajnanatimrandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadadi Swapadandikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jahatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyeva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschata Desatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Welcome all to today's morning program. So we're going to start chapter 8 today of the second canto. So this is the last but one chapter. And after this chapter is more focused on Parikshit Maharaj now. So Parikshit Maharaj got impressed, very inspired by what Sukadeva Goswami spoke till now. So now he's asking further set of questions. Now he understood the creation. He understood the creation from Garbhodakshaya Vishnu all the way until, the material elements, the 14 planetary system, all those things he understood. So now, of course, the detailing will again go through. For example, when the planetary systems are created, the detailing of the planetary systems. So that was all pending now. So that we will discuss in the fifth canto, right? We will only focus on Jambudipa and then how this entire Boom Mandala. So all those things we'll discuss in fifth canto. So now what happens to Parikshit Maharaj? Actually, now I understood creation. I have questions about before Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, what is the origin? That is Karanodakshaya Vishnu, right? So he wants to know who's this Karanodakshaya Vishnu? How are various higher personalities created? So like that, he has got many questions now, post the creation. So we saw the nutshell of creation. Now we're going to go into the details of the creation. Okay? What is what, why, how, etc. So that's what we're going to discuss. Now, before doing that, the first set of slokas, that is the first 6 slokas of Bhagavatam, they're asking a question. What is the position of Naradaji? How his preaching went around the entire world and produced devotion in the hearts of people, right? So he has certain questions around Naradaji. So what we will do is the first 6 questions, we'll focus on what Naradaji is trying to tell us and how bhakti can create a big revolution in the hearts of every living entity. Okay, so we'll focus that part of it. Then after that, this entire chapter is all about questions, right? So we can run this entire chapter much faster because he's just going to ask, what is this? What is that? What is this? Like a child, right? A child keeps asking question, right? Oh, mama, what is this? Oh, mama, what is this? Like that, he's asking questions. So these questions are so engrossing that Sukadeva Goswami is so impressed that he starts to answer. When he starts to answer, we go to the 9th chapter. So 8th and 9th are like question and answers, right? So we will see those things in detail now. Okay. So what we'll do is we will open a Word document. And I want to show you something called as how bhakti influences, which part of our life bhakti influences. So that we will discuss. A little bit technical, but we'll discuss that. Very nice it is. Okay. So, we can able to see. Now, before we do this, we'll read the first 3 slokas, then we'll come to this. Okay. We'll just see this. So this topic is entitled Questions by Parikshit. Okay, so we will begin. Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktyakam Namame Bhakti Shaktikam Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namah Sarvopadi Vinirmuktam Tatparatvena Nirmalam Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam Bhakti Uchate. Okay, so 8.1, look at this sloka line. Rajo Vacha Brahmana Chodita Brahman Gunakena Gunasyacha Yashmai Yata Praha Narado Deva Darshanaha. Okay, translation. King Parikshit inquired from Sukadeva Goswami, how did Narada Muni, who hearers are as fortunate as those instructed by Lord Brahma, explain the transcendental qualities of the Lord, who is without material qualities, and before whom did he speak? Right? So he's asking about multiple questions. Right? The first thing is the potency of Narada Muni instructing to others is equivalent to the potency of the Lord instructing Brahmaji. So he's comparing two things. So now you can see when a king sends a message, okay, the king will write a letter, okay, and fold it and give it to a messenger and say, take this message to the neighboring kingdom. Now, the receiving king will give greater importance and respect to that messenger because he is carrying the message of the king. So, if the king had come, what respect he will give? He'll give the same respect to this messenger. Okay, so that's the most important point you have to understand. That's a practice. So, similarly, if Narada ji is going to carry the message of his predecessor, that means Brahmaji, his father, who was instructed by the Supreme Lord himself, then the position of Narada ji is so high because he's carrying the message of the Godhead. So hence you see, great devotees, we give same respect, worship, just like how we respect and worship the Lord, because they're carrying the same message. So what does that mean to us? It means is, whatever we read in the Veda Shastra, we are all representatives in the lineage of, we can say Arjuna in one sense. So we have to speak the content and the message as it is. Moment we decide to modify the content, because, if I speak this in a different manner, I will get some mileage. I'll make some money out of it. If we do that, that means we're breaking the entire chain. Remember, Krishna came to this world because the chain of Bhagavad Gita was broken. So hence he came to re-establish the chain. He spoke the Gita again, re-established Dharma again. That means we are breaking the plan of the Lord. So never try to speak the content or the meaning, which is not not in in alignment with the acharyas who came in the lineage. That is the most important thing, right? So I'll give you an example on pastime. So Prabhupada, this is from a book by Giriraj Swami. So Prabhupada trained Giriraj Swami how to go do fundraising, how to go connect to public and get them connected to ISKCON. The first set of moves of Prabhupada was, he had many disciples. Some of the disciples he trained so that they can go reach out to high-end personalities, right? So he trained Giriraj Swami in such a manner that Giriraj Swami actually went to Birla, Aditya Birla or whoever it may be that time. And when the case was presented, you can see Birlas were always favorable to Krishna consciousness, and they were able to take it up very easily. When great personalities take up the seriousness in this movement, then what happens? The Yaddat Acharati Shreshtas, even the others, they would get inspired to follow and take it up. That's why Prabhupada adopted that strategy also. Okay. So now when, in one of these marketing strategies, that is promoting our ISKCON, promoting Vedic science, speaking Bhagavad Gita as it is. One Mataji and one Prabhuji, they go to, some of the houses of the riches. So there, this Prabhuji is trying to tell the customer that, you should chant every day. Chanting is very important. It helps you a lot and things like that. So after he describes everything, he's trying to, get some membership or donation or something like that. So at the time, the client is asking, tell me one benefit of chanting. So what this person did, he took the beads and he said, see, you're supposed to hold the beads on your middle finger like this. And whenever you press the bead and hold, you will have to hold and press the bead, then you will chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. When you do that, he said, there's a nerve that begins from this finger and goes and connects to the heart. So then what happens? The health of the heart improves because of acupressure. So you should chant. So now you see, the purpose of the Hare Krishna mantra is something else. But what is he speaking to the clientele in order to get the money? So this is called profiteering by misusing the agenda of Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam. So such things must be avoided. When such things we practice, you see, we are the cause of the breakage of the lineage. So hence Prabhupada titled this book as Bhagavad Gita as it is. Right? So it's very important. Whenever you want to speak something, whenever you want to read a sloka, when you apply, when you sing a bhajan, is it there in the Shastra? Is it there authentic? Go do it. If it is not, don't do it. Right? So now we will read this purport, a very interesting purport. Can someone come forward to read the entire purport? Others should take opportunity. I don't want to see the same person coming forward to take opportunities.
Can I read, Prabhu?
Yes, Mataji. Please read, Mataji.
Purport fully, right?
Yeah.
Devarashi Narada was directly instructed by Brahmaji, who was also directly instructed by the Supreme Lord. Therefore, the instruction imparted by Narada to his various disciples are as good as those of Supreme Lord.
Hmm.
That is the way of understanding the Vedic knowledge. It comes down from the Lord by disciplic succession, and this transcendental knowledge is distributed to the world by this descending process. There is no chance, however, to receive the Vedic knowledge from mental speculators. Therefore, wherever the Narada Muni goes, he represents himself as authorized by the Lord, and his appearance is good as that of Supreme Lord. Similarity, the disciplic succession, which strictly follows the transcendental instruction, is the bona fide chain of disciplic succession, and test for such bona fide spiritual master is that there should be no difference between the instruction of the Lord originally imparted to his devotee and that which is imparted by the authority in the line of disciplic succession.
Hmm.
Narada Muni distributed the transcendental knowledge to the knowledge of the Lord will be explained in the later cantos. It will appear also that the Lord existed existed prior to the material creation. Therefore, his transcendental name, quality, etc., do not represent any material quality. Whenever, whenever, therefore, the Lord is described as aguna or without any quality, it does not mean that he has no quality, but that he has no material quality, such as the modes of goodness, passion, or ignorance, as the conditioned soul have. He has a transcendental to all material conception, and thus he is described as Aguna. Hare Krishna.
Aguna is also called Nirguna, right? So Nirguna means one who does not have qualities. What qualities? Who does not possess any material qualities, or one who is not influenced by the material qualities. That's what Nirguna or Aguna means. So Mayavadis or others, when they hear the word Nirguna, they say Lord is without qualities. If the Lord is without any qualities, then they conclude that he cannot be a person. Then they say it's impersonal Brahman. So that's how they go. So, but that's not the method. It is to be understood. Okay. So now what we will do is we'll just go to an Word document. I'll try and see if we can do this activity. We'll see and we can understand this. Okay. So now here is Krishna. Okay, let me make it bigger. Hare Krishna, just remind me that Lokeshwari Mataji is unwell. She is admitted to hospital and she's in the ICU. So at the end of the class, we'll just pray for her. No? Okay. So this is Lord Krishna. Okay. He is in the transcendental plane. Okay. Now, okay. This is the transcendental plane. So this above is transcendental. Okay. So now we'll talk about something below. So this is the material plane. Okay. So now this material plane, what does it go through? The first quality of the material plane, it is temporary. So what's the meaning of it is temporary? That means it is present today, but tomorrow it's not present. Okay. Only by the will of the Lord it is created and maintained and destroyed. Okay. So the first nature of material plane, it is temporary. So how you can understand the entirety of our, like for example, our Earth planet or the material planets are temporary. Now, how do you prove that they are temporary? From basic science point of view, you see that if the entire Earth is temporary, then all the elements, all the activities within this also are temporary. And you can see in our practical life. Whatever is there is temporal. Whether we as living entities, our bodies that we possess, or buildings that we construct, any activity that is happening here, even in the subtle nature, happiness, enjoyment, love, on the material plane is temporal. So you can see the entirety is temporary, and elements within the entirety is also temporary. That is called material plane. Okay. So Lord is not present in the material plane. Okay. Directly. That's what it means. Okay. So I'll just make this bigger so that we can. So Lord is not present in the material plane. So I'll make this. Okay. So Lord is present in indirect manner, right? How is the Lord present in this material plane? In the form of holy name, in the form of Archavigraha, in the form of certain paraphernalia, in the form of Vedic literatures like Srimad Bhagavatam, like Bhagavad Gita, Vedic sciences, all these things is present. He's also present in the form of Yajna. He's also present in the form of great elements, like very powerful elements, right, in indirect manner. So that's what the Lord is not present in material plane directly, but is present indirectly. Okay. So now, living entities in this plane have senses and organs by which they can connect to the elements in this material plane. So what does this mean? What does this mean is, for example, we have organs and a body that we possess. So, for example, we have eyes by which we can connect to this world here. Which I can see. When I see, I can see elements. I can see this, I can see that, and things like that. I have ears by which I can hear to the sound of birth, the sound of creation, the sound of destruction. I can hear to every sound, all material. That means I can just go on the list and say I can use any of my organs or senses to connect to the activities in the material plane. Okay. So now I keep, or I meaning living entity, keeps accumulating knowledge and awareness only about material things. So he does not know what else to do in his life. He only does what he sees around. He does not know anything. And can he see the Lord? No. Because there is a beautiful line that borders the spiritual and the material entity. But the Lord is only in the spiritual. So now, the point of contemplation is, if I do a philanthropic activity here, then what I'm doing, I am only doing an activity in the material plane. I'm not moving to the transcendental. Transcendental means spiritual, right? So I am unable to understand the influence of the Lord in this material world. So the Lord here, he is in the transcendental plane. What does he do? He creates the material elements. He maintains with his energy, also destroys. So sitting here, look at it. The Lord is sitting above in the transcendental plane, and he's creating this one. So what does he do? He does this. He's sitting in the transcendental plane and he is creating this material plane. This is what he does. This is what the Lord is doing. So now we go back to that statement that we read. We read aguna or nirguna. What does it mean? Lord sitting here, he creates these things and influence energy, but this one cannot influence the Lord back. So now you can see there are two things that we understand out of the statement. First thing that we understand is Lord is staying aloof. That is, Lord is not influenced by the third modes. Lord is staying aloof. He is outside of this material world. Okay? Staying outside, he is creating. So, for example, you are constructing a building, right? You don't go inside the building to construct. You stay outside in your own house or in your own office, and then you construct another building outside. All creation is always done like that. So the Lord stays in the transcendental plane, and by his external energy, he creates the material plane. That's what you have to understand. Now, when the Lord is creating this, he is not influenced by this energy onto it. That's the point here. Rajesh Srimad, just 1 minute, I'll finish this, then I'll give you I'll speak to you. Okay. So now, when the material nature is influenced by, there's energy here also, right? So this material nature is run by 3 modes. That is goodness, passion, and ignorance. So this is the nature at which the material nature runs. So these 3 modes cannot influence the Lord. Because it cannot influence the Lord, because the Lord is without any of these material qualities, he gets the conclusion that he is nirguna. Okay. So now we are sitting here. We are sitting in this plane. The Lord is sitting here. Our goal is to move from the bottom portion to the top portion. And that's the goal of life. So the question is how? How do I move from the bottom portion to the top portion? And to do anything, I need certain gadgets. I need a machine. I need elements. Okay. So, for example, I want to make a shirt for myself. I have to get cotton. I have to get some other elements. Together, do it. Then I'll get a shirt. Right. So let's say I want to make halwa. I have to get material elements as ingredients. Then I need enablers like heat, stove, chemicals like sugar, salt, and like taste enablers. Mix it together, I get halwa. Right? So I need something like this in order to go to higher plane. And what is that? What is it that makes me to stay here, not able to go here? And what is it that will make me to go from here to higher plane? That's what we're going to discuss today. Okay? Is so far clear?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, sir. Rajeshri Mataji, you have a question.
Prabhuji, nothing major, but this Andantarastham Paramanu Chayantarastham came to my mind. So Anda means material creation, and the Lord is also present in the material creation. But his original abode is in the spiritual world. How to clearly understand this?
Okay. So now this sloka, how you understand is, the Lord as Mahavishnu is not within the Anda. Okay. He is sleeping on his casual ocean. Okay. Now, there are 2 elements that you have to understand. We'll go to sloka number 7.3 and 7.4. 7.4 and 7.5. Okay. Bhumi rapo nalo vayu kammano buddhirevacha ahankara itiyamme binna praktir astada. He says Binna Prakti. Binna Prakti means they are separated energies of mind. Okay. Then he says in the next sloka, Aprayam itastu anyam prakritim vidyame param. Jiva bhuta mahavaho yayedam daryate jagat. Okay. So I created these 5 elements, which is the cause of this anda. Okay. Now within this anda, whom are present this Jiva Bhuta means living entities like you and me. They have acquired a nature that they want to be an enjoyer. They want to exploit something and just they want to control something, they want to be enjoyed. So what Mahavishnu says, I created an anda, which is all these material elements, and I'm not present in the material element. Then I put the jivas, the living entities, into them so that they can enjoy this place without me, and I'm not there. Okay, so that's the first thing that he makes. But the biggest issue is any element today that needs a energy, that needs a mover. So for example, you have motor. The motor cannot run by itself. It's a material element, but it needs an energy. That energy is electricity. You have a car. The car cannot be function by itself. It needs either electricity or it needs petrol. So like that, anything that is being created needs energy to work. Otherwise, it cannot function. So what Lord does, that energy is the one the Lord gives. And where you need energy, you need everywhere. You need energy in the atom level. You need energy in the brilliant sun level. The sun is actually running through nuclear energy only. If there's no nuclear energy, the sun will collapse. It will be death of the star. So, in order to give that energy, the Lord himself expands as certain, potencies, enters into the anda and simulates that energy so that these living entities can enjoy and exploit. So this is the understanding of this sloka. It is not that Lord, because an anda is there, Lord is also present within that. He is also encapsulated within. It does not mean that. Does this give the understanding, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Okay. So please understand, for a material element, energy is supplied not from within the material element, it's supplied from outside. For example, the car, which needs to run on fuel, is supplied from outside. An electricity motor, which runs on electricity, is supplied from outside. Every energy is supplied from outside. It is not within it. And that's what the Lord does. Okay. Yes, Venkat Prabhu, you had a question.
Prabhuji, when we say the Lord is not present in the material plane directly, but is existing in the material plane as a Paramatma, right, Prabhuji?
Okay, that's what I told you, right? He is now accompanying us in the material world in order to perform our activity. Now, for example, this body is present, but where is the energy for this body coming? Where is the life for this body coming? Okay.
Source is external. Yeah.
The life for this body has to be given from somewhere, right? The energy to the body has to be given from somewhere. Okay. Now the soul is present, which is the aware and the owner of this body. But where is energy for that is coming? When the Paramatma enters that body, it gets that life activated. Otherwise, you know what happens? It is an object that is created, but it's inactive state. When the energy is supplied, when the energy or the potential is supplied to the body, it becomes active. So not just this body. You see, for example, the ocean waves, which are hitting so hard. Where is the energy coming from? The wind movement, where is the energy coming from? The sun movement, where is the energy coming from? Anything you take the material element, where is energy coming from? So the Lord supplies this from outside, and he himself expands to enter in order to give this energy at the atom level and at the gross level.
Understood, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Okay. Now, very simple. If Paramatma leaves a particular entity, the soul also leaves because they're always together. Okay. Paramatma is like the hand-holding guide. Okay. Now, you see that element becomes dead. A tree, once that Paramatma and soul leave, there's no energy, there's no life form, the tree becomes dead. You can make out a dead tree. You can make out a dead person. You can make out a dead element. That's what it is. Right? Now, to add another viewpoint to this, Paramatma expands into billions of energy points, which you can understand as Paramatma now, and activates the action in this material plane. Now let's say in the aspect of creation that Paramatma leaves, then destruction is happening. But Mahavishnu, who's outside, is just undisturbed. He's not disturbed by the creation, maintenance, destruction of Ananda. So, if an Anda is getting destroyed and that causes disturbance to Mahavishnu, or it's influencing Mahavishnu's life and activity, then we can say, yes, it is influencing. It is, you can say he is not nirguna, he is affected by the material qualities, but he is not disturbed. He created the energy, did some activity, and then absorbed the energy back into. Okay, is that point clear?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. So now,
One question, Prabhuji.
yes, Mataji.
So all the living entities have Atma and Paramatma. We have to understand Paramatma is the Lord, which is
The
giving us.
Atma is the living entity.
Atma is the living. Paramatma, which is inside the living entity, is the energy.
Not inside, beside.
Okay.
See, Mataji, you need to go somewhere. Let's say you need to go to Mumbai, you need to go to New York. You need someone or something to accompany you, right? Otherwise, how will you reach the destination?
Yeah.
Okay.
Guidance.
So one is direction. Okay, for example, let's say you have to go to a college to read, to understand a particular subject. Can you just go to the college building and then see around and understand the subject? No, you need books.
Yes.
You need a teacher. You need a university with all infrastructure. So you see, wherever you go, whatever you do, whether it is small or big, you need an accompanying factor. It can be a person or it can be a thing. So that accompanying personality is the Paramatma. So Paramatma holds your hand and keeps asking you, what do you want to do? If you say, I want to do a material activity, then he'll show that direction. Okay, that direction you go. And that's what your instincts are. That's what your buddhi is. That's what you're getting it. So then you.
By Maya.
No, Maya is different. I'm not talking about Maya now. Where are you getting your buddhi? Where are you getting your intelligence? You were born with intelligence even from time of your birth. You know that, no?
Yeah.
Where are you getting it? It is the Paramatma telling you, what do you want? Come on, take that. This is the direction. This is where it is. So that's the Paramatma as a guide, as a guru, hand holding you. Right from the first day of your life till the last day of your life. Is it clear?
Yes, Prabhu.
Why is Paramatma present with you in the material plane? Because there's no Bhagavan here. Bhagavan here in the direct mode. Only in the direct mode is present. So then who will be with you to guide you? So, while you're in the material world, the Lord is coming with you as a Paramatma. Okay. Now, you must have heard of something called as Viraja River. Now, let's assume this black line is a Viraja River. So, you somehow got liberated in this birth. So, when you go back, you'll cross this Viraja River. So, when you cross the Viraja River, maybe you'll take bath there or something you'll do, you'll cross it. When you cross, the Paramatma will say, hey, my job is done. When you are in a dark region of this material world, no direction anywhere, I was hand holding you. Now you come back to the spiritual world where Bhagavan is present everywhere. So you don't need me anymore. So the Paramatma leaves you, and you as a living entity will not possess a material body, will possess a spiritual body, and you will see Bhagavan straight away. Whatever you see, Krishna, whatever you see, Lord Vishnu, you will see him directly. And he'll be your guide. He'll be your Lord. Because he's present in front of you. Is this clear? So here there is no Paramatma in the transcendental plane. The Paramatma exists only in the material plane. He acts as a guide. Once you cross this barrier, reaches the spiritual plane, there is no more Paramatma. It is Lord directly, Bhagavan. Is this point clear?
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Okay, good.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, in 15.15 Bhagavad
Hmm.
Gita, Lord
Hmm.
tells, I am
Hmm.
seated in everyone's heart. Sarvasya chaham hrudi sannivishto. Then
Hmm.
how we should relate or understand, Prabhu?
So the guide has to come with you, somewhere. The guide, as Paramatma, has to come with you, So what does he do? It is said that the living force is sitting in the heart of a living entity. That means beneath the heart. Somewhere
Yeah.
beneath the heart, the living entity is down. That's why you say there is a difference between have you understood it through your mind and have you understood, has it touched your heart? Has it touched your brain, touched your heart? We always say touched your heart. We don't say touch your brain. Understanding with the mind means understanding transactionally. Understanding with the heart means the reformation of the covering of the soul. That's what it means. So the soul is seated beneath the heart. And what's the size of the soul? If you take a tip
Yes,
of the hair and 10,000 parts of the tip of the hair is the size of the soul. Technically
that
an
is
atomic size. Okay, so now
so.
if the Lord has to give you guidance, he cannot sit in the feet or in the head or somewhere else in the part of the body. He has to sit along with you to guide you. He has to hold your hand, right?
Yes,
So he also sits next to you beneath the heart.
yes.
So what is his job? What is it? Not job, I would say. What does he do? He keeps on fulfilling your desires. Whatever you desire, if you deserve it, he'll fulfill it. Is it clear?
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Very
Oh.
well.
So if this is clear, if there's no more question, we'll go to the next part of the discussion today. So I'll just delete all these things. Okay, so now what we will do is we will yeah, so now here is now I'm going to draw two elements. Hmm, backgrounds. Hmm. Yeah. Okay. So now you see, this is called as subtle body. Okay, this is called subtle body. What does the subtle body constitutes of? What does subtle body contains?
Mind, intelligence, false ego.
Okay. So now this mind, I'm typing them as separately here. So technically, the subtle body is constituted of both mind, intelligence, false ego, but I'm just typing the mind here. Okay. Now you see, the mind is the one that connects your subtle body and a gross body. Okay. Now this gross body contains what? It contains also another thing, which is called as a senses. Okay, it's got senses here. So this is senses now. This gross body has got senses. Now, what are the senses? Your karmendriyas and jnanendriyas. Okay. Now, this through the senses, what does it do? It exposes to the so. Okay, so assume these senses are part of this gross body and it's doing. Now, if you keep exposing your God, okay, so this is another. So the mind is becoming what? It is exposed to what the senses are giving to the mind. If I expose the mind, yes, Prabhuji. Yes, there was a question.
Sorry, bro, I was sneezing. Sorry.
You're sneezing. Okay. Okay. So now you can see where the mind is getting all the information. The mind is getting all the information through the senses: ears, eyes, nose, rectum, genitals, right? So now let's say this mind is exposed through greed because of all the senses looking at the opulence of the material world and say, I want this, I want that, I want that. It just goes into greed. And this greed, what does it do? It influences the subtle body, which has got ego. And it has got intelligence. So now, because of your knowledge that you're acquiring through the senses, the subtle body, your ego is telling, who am I? I am the controller of this world. I'm the enjoyer of this world. Because that is what the knowledge it is getting here. Exposes to, I would say, material elements, I would say material knowledge. So, what we feed in to us is what is the covering of the ego and intelligence. Now, let's say you take a guy from Harvard University who's done his PhD on environmental engineering. Okay. So his intelligence is so mature, but the intelligence is in the wrong direction. What is the wrong direction? It's only talking about material elements, environment, computer science. It talks about space science. All those things is what you're going to just mind. Now you see, this whole body that we possess, there's no connection to Krishna here. That means we will remain in this material world all the time. Okay, so this is material. This is the material. So we are continuously playing ourselves in the material, and we're using our senses as the means to stay here at all times. Okay, so now what is our Acharya trying to do? What is Srimad Bhagavatam trying to do? He's trying to tell the mind, don't expose your senses to material knowledge. Expose your senses to spiritual knowledge. Now your warehouse, the mind has got a warehouse. Mind is a warehouse. Your warehouse is filled with all material desires. How many desires I have? Not only in this birth, my previous birth, and millions of previous births. I've accumulated desires to enjoy varieties and varieties and varieties of this material. Here, there, and everything is stored in this mind. So I have to just execute it. This is what our life has become, the material. Okay, so now what our Acharya is trying to do? What Acharya is trying to do is purify this mind. Okay, so now we'll write another box here, not this one. Okay, so now here is what I'm trying to purify. So this is spiritual knowledge. To purify. I don't know how to do the text orientation. Okay, so now you can see the spiritual knowledge will purify the mind here. So we are getting exposed to the material world, but the spiritual knowledge is trying to purify the mind. What is trying to tell the mind? Hey, you covered the false ego by telling, I want to be an enjoyable. Now you cover the false ego with the spiritual knowledge, which will tell you what are you. You're actually servant of Krishna who's staying here, But you come here and you just want to be here all the time, which is full of dukkalayam and ashashvatam. So don't be here. So that's the first knowledge. It just gives the first set of knowledge. That's why Krishna starts with, in the second chapter, the first sloka that he starts with, Dehino asmin yata dehe kaumaram yavanam jara. He says, you are not what you are thinking. You are not this body. You are a soul encapsulated or living within this body. That's what he's trying to tell you. That's the first sloka Krishna tells. If you're not this body, why you want to do activities of the body? Do activities of the soul, and that's what you are. That's your real identity. That's what Krishna begins the Bhagavad Gita as. So, the spiritual knowledge to purify comes to us in different forms. One is the books that we read, the Shravanam that we hear, elements like the chanting of the holy name, and whatever other things that we do will purify this mind. It also purifies the intelligence. Sometimes the mind is very stubborn. Chanchalam hi mana Krishna pramati balavat dridam. That balavat dridam. Balavat, this tells the mind is very strong, obstinate, and it does not want to accept. So, when you do Shravanam, your intelligence is getting purified and the intelligence is influencing the mind. No, don't do this activity. This is not what I want you to do. Do this activity, which is spiritual nature. That is what we are. So, a man studying PhD in Harvard is not considered to be great because when he dies, he loses his degree, he loses his knowledge, and again he reacquires in the next birth. So, there's no big deal in it. But on the contrary, a transcendentalist who reads Srimad Bhagavatam, even if he doesn't complete his journey of life, but he has got his purified intelligence, that means the next birth he will complete the journey of humanity. and we'll go back home back to God. So, this ego, which is false ego currently, will transform to true ego. Will become true ego. False ego to true ego. What is true ego? What is false ego? False ego is what I am, who I am. It transforms into reality. I am not no more an illusion. And that's the process of the spiritual knowledge and practices. Okay, so this is exactly what Naradaji is trying to do to us. This is exactly what Naradaji represented, be it Mrigari, be it Valmiki, be it Dhruva, be it Bhakta Prahlad. Naradaji did the same thing to all of them. And by doing them, he brought this entire living entity to this platform of transcendence. That's what he did. So, hence, he is considered the greatest personality in spreading Bhakti Yoga. That's why we have in the Panchatattva, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhara, Srivasa, Srivas, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, right? Srivas is the one who binds. The Gaura Bhakta Vrinda is all the living entities. He binds all the living entities to the three great personalities, Lord Chaitanya, Nityananda, and Advaita, because they are Vishnu Tattva. And how does he bind? He takes the benediction of Srimati Radharani and he binds the living entities to them. That's what Naradaji is. Hence, Naradaji is considered to be a personification of bhakti in the Acharya Parampara. Okay? Is this clear? That's why you can see Narada Bhakti Sutra, right? He gave us all the sutra. Then, Pancharatrika Vidhis, he gave all those things. He gave all this knowledge. Fantastic knowledge he gives. Okay, any questions before we move further? So now when we go to Iha Devata, in the demigods, what they're doing, they are not giving the spiritual knowledge to convert false ego to true ego. They're only increasing the sophistication of this gross body. That means what? Instead of one people reporting to you, you will have hundreds of people reporting to you. They increase our false ego. Instead of you living in a detached, renounced order, you're living in a very attached, opulent order. That's what the demigod does to us. So what the demigod do to us is actually against our will or against our goal to go back home, back to God. Demigods are interested to take us back home, back to God by connecting us to Krishna. But the problem is we are asking the demigods for the wrong things. You go to Lord Shiva and ask him Krishna Bhakti. But what are we asking? We are asking the wrong things to Shiva. And hence he is offering all these things to us. Okay, so is this concept clear?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. So now what are we going to do now? We're going to go back to our slokas and we're going to see how Naradaji is making this happen. Okay. So now let's read 8.2. So now we understood Aguna. Aguna, Nirguna are all same. The Lord is outside of the material world and trying to do the activity in the material world. Okay. 8.2. Etat veditam ichchami tattvam tattavidam vara hareradbhuta vedyasya kata loka sumangalai. Sumangala. The king said, I wish to know narrations concerning the Lord, who possess wonderful potencies, are certainly auspicious for living beings in all planets. Now look at it. Parikshit Maharaj is possessing material senses. Is possessing a mind, is possessing an ear, which is material in nature. It's a gross element. Okay. Now, but what is he doing? We go back to that same picture which we drew. He is purifying his ears. He's purifying his mind. How is he purifying? His first step is connect with the spiritual master. He's connected with Sukha Goswami. And he's telling, please tell me things about the Lord. By hearing them through my ears, I'll purify my ears. By remembering what I heard, I'll purify my mind. So, please give me a method which purifies this body. That means By hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, Parikshit Maharaj transformed from a materially impure body to a completely purified spiritual body. That's what happened to him at the end of the 70 days. So now, 7 days over, Sukadeva Goswami completed the entire recitation. Parikshit is purified. He's completely got spiritualized. There's no more space for him in this material world. How does it matter that Takshaka comes and bites his body or not? Takshaka just came and bit a dead body. It's just carcass in the middle. So that is insignificant. This is the beauty. Okay? So, purport. Srimad Bhagavatam is full of narrations of activities of the Supreme Lord. Is auspicious for all living beings residing in every planet. One who takes it as a belonging to a particular sect is certainly mistaken. Bhagavatam is certainly a very dear scripture for all devotees of the Lord, but it is auspicious even for non-devotees. How? You must have seen, no? In Japan, they have installed this machine. Okay. If you enter Japan, the airport, there will be one blower. Okay. That is at the entrance of the inside portions of the airport. There's a blower and continued medicated air. It's got medicated air within the entire airport. So now imagine you just went into the airport to take your flight. But knowingly or unknowingly, you're breathing medicated air. Huh? So what happens? Whether you want it or not, some aspects of your ill health are getting cured. This is what the Japan has done. Now, what Lord has done? Lord has done this for the entire world. If you're an atheist but a passerby, you heard the Hare Krishna mantra. Even you may hate it, but still the Hare Krishna mantra is curing you. Someone spoke about Krishna to you even for 10 seconds. You, with great difficulty, somehow tolerated, but still it is purity. That is the beauty. Okay, 8.3. Katyasva Mahabhaga Yataham Akilatmani Krishne Nivashya Nissangam Manas Takshe Kalevaram. Oh, greatly fortunate Sukadeva Goswami. Please continue narrating Srimad Bhagavatam so that I can place my mind on the Supreme Soul, Lord Krishna, and be completely free from material qualities, thus relinquish this body. Now, he's got his love. He's got his attention. He's discovered the real goal of his life. So now, he just wants Srimad Bhagavatam. This is the first sign of purity. If someone devotee says, Prabhu, I have already heard how many times to hear it. I'm not interested in it. We'll hear something else. Can you see the difference in consciousness between Parikshit and this personality? It's the same thing, how to hear again. No. It is the one that can purify your heart. So that's the beauty. Okay. So can someone come forward to read the purport? Yeah.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji, please read, Mataji.
To be fully engaged in hearing the transcendental narration described in the text of Srimad Bhagavatam means to constantly associate with the Supreme Soul, Sri Krishna. And to constantly associate with the Supreme Lord Krishna means to be liberated from the qualities of matter. Lord Krishna is like the sun, and material contamination is like darkness. As the presence of the sun dissipates darkness, constant engagement in the association of the Lord Sri Krishna frees one from the contamination of the material qualities. Contamination by the material qualities is the cause of repeated birth and death, and liberation from material qualities is transcendence. Maharaja Parikshit was now a realized soul by this secret of liberation. Through the grace of Sukadeva Goswami, for the latter had informed the king that the highest perfection of life is to be in remembrance of Narayana at the end of life. Maharaja Parikshit was destined to give up his body at the end of 7 days, and thus he decided to continue remembering the Lord by his association with the topics of Srimad Bhagavatam, and thus to quit his body in full consciousness of the presence of the Lord, Sri Krishna, the Supreme Soul. The hearing of Srimad Bhagavatam performed by professional men is different from the transcendental hearing of Maharaja Parikshit. Maharaja Parikshit was a soul realized in the absolute truth, Sri Krishna, the personality of Godhead. The fruitive materialist is not a realized soul. He wants to derive some material benefit from his so called hearing of Srimad Bhagavatam. Undoubtedly, such an audience hearing Srimad Bhagavatam from
Left
the
hand side.
professional men can derive some material benefit as they desire, but that does not mean that such a pretense of hearing Srimad Bhagavatam for a week is as good as the hearing of Maharaja Parikshit. It is the duty of the saint to hear Srimad Bhagavatam from a self-realized soul and not be duped by professional men. One should continue such hearing till the end of one's life so that one can actually have the transcendental association of the Lord and thus be liberated simply by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. Maharaja Parikshit had already given up all his connections with his kingdom and family, the most attractive features of materialism, but still he was conscious of his material body. He wanted to be free of such bondage also by the constant association of the Lord. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So look at it. The essence of this is very, it contains two parts. The first part is Maharaj Parikshit, what he did, now he came to know 7 days I'm going to die. He said, I want to renounce my family. Okay, no more family connection. Then what he did, he called his son, immediately coronated him. Okay, you are the king, now you take care of it. Please don't be involved. So that means material possession he gave away. He took a simple lion cloth, covered his body, all the opulent body covering, he just gave it away. So first, gross renunciation happened. Now material renunciation. Material renunciation he did by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam from Sukadeva Goswami. So similarly, our life, the way we should mend it is what? Every day, every moment, either you call out the names of the Lord or you keep talking about the pastimes of the Lord, that will lead to smaranam, remembering the Lord at all points in time. Then at the end of your life also, you'll remember the Lord, you'll go back and back to God. But if we don't do this, if we involve greater and greater into material activities, then we remember those material activities only. We can't remember the Lord. So the purification is at the subtle level. That's what Maharaja Parikshit did. See, he did. He wanted to free some bondage, the consciousness also. That is constant association. That's what he did. So this is where Parikshit did this, and that's what Narad is explaining. Okay, we'll do one more sloka. This is a very connected sloka. Okay, 8.4. Shrinvataha Shraddhaya Nityam. Look at it. Shrinvataha. What Shin is to hear. Shraddha with faith. Nityam all the time. Granatascha swachestitam. Kalena nati dirghena. Bhagavan vishate hridi. Person who hears Srimad Bhagavatam regularly are always taking the matter very seriously. Will have the personality of Godhead Sri Krishna manifest in their hearts within a short time. Okay. When Kratu Prabhu, who's a initiating guru, he had come to Bangalore recently. Then I'd asked him, Maharaj, can I meet you? Can I sit with you in person for about 10-15 minutes? I asked him. He said, oh, please. Then he was residing in one devotee's house, Puneet Krishnadas, and he told you, come over there. Here and all will be disturbed. You come over there, we'll sit peacefully and discuss. I said, okay, I went. I asked him, Maharaj, somehow we got into Krishna consciousness, some mercy. Then initially there was not much of resistance. Now we're practicing, we're doing these things. Okay. But how long we'll do service? What should be the next stage I should do? Where should I head to? This is what I asked him. I had asked a similar question with who in Vrindavan also, Maharaj in Vrindavan also. But I asked the same question here also. So what he said, Sundara Prabhu, Even in the ISKCON world, you may be taking a lot of responsibility, execution responsibility, administration responsibility. But that's okay. You do that for some time, but you give that also away. Don't be attached to it. I asked him why. Because it will subtly give you attachment to position. It's a kicker. It kicks you with that, oh, I am in this position. So don't get out of that also. Then do what Maharaj asked me. Your 80% of activity, he said, should be Shravanam and Kirtan. That's all. He said, what? 80%. That means, let's say I'm sleeping for 6 hours. I'm taking bath, eating, doing some, health exercise, walking. Let's say another 4 hours. So 10 hours over. He says 14 hours. Your life should be only Shravanam Kirtan. And that lead to Smaran. Nothing else. There's nothing else you need to do. That's what he exactly said. You do varieties of Shravanam, you do varieties of Kirtanam. That's all you need. Maintain your body, maintain your subtle body. That's what he said. Now, Purijan Prabhu I met in Vrindavan. I asked him the same question. He said, Maharaj, you've been very active in so many things in your life. Now, what are you doing, Maharaj? I asked him. He said, see, I was in GBC. I was the head of many, many forums, groups, so that this ambition to build this, ambition to build that. I did this up to age of 60 years. After 60, I resigned from every post in ISKCON. Every post in ISKCON, I resigned. Oh, great, Maharaj. Then what are you doing now? I asked him. He said, I enjoy my chanting and I keep writing books. So how books helps you, Maharaj? I asked him. He said, to write a book, you need to refer a lot of literature. You need to refer a lot of commentaries by previous acharyas. So, by hearing, reading, so much of smaranam is going on in my mind. And that is what is making me to put pen down into a book form. I said, this is amazing. What else you do, Maharaj? Nothing else. I just walk, do a little bit of exercise of yoga, and I do deity worship and maintain. That's it. I don't do anything else. However, I keep guiding my devotees. Many devotees of hips. He's an initiating disciple. He's an initiating spiritual master. So what he said, his devotees are around the world, in Australia, North India, so many places. They keep coming wherever Maharaj is. They'll come and seek advice. He'll guide them. He'll guide them to success, to glory. Exactly. He said, this is my life. So now, realized soul is speaking this. So for us, it's great. No, we're getting instant recipe in a platter. So now what we should do, we should head towards this. If you want to head towards this, you have to make material adjustments right away when the time is favorable. Don't wait for an unfavorable time and then out of force do it. When the time is favorable, renounce it. Vyavasayatmika buddhi. Vyavasayatmika means resolute determination in this path. If you don't take that resolute determination, then you will see you're always in a compromised state. Okay, this is enough, that's enough. This is what is important. Let's read this purport to end today's class. Cheap devotees or materialistic devotees of the Lord are very much desirous to see the Lord personally without meeting the requisite qualification. Who are these cheap devotees who take shortcut? We read in the last class, people straight away jump to read the last Leela. These are called cheap devotees or sahajas. We imitate the Lord. Without qualification, they want to see the Lord. Is it not possible? Such third grade devotees should know well that material attachment and seeing the Lord face to face cannot go together. They are opposite direction. Lord is in the eastern direction, material activities in the western direction. You know what you're saying? I'll walk towards the western direction, which is material, but my consciousness should walk towards the eastern direction, which is Krishna. So, not possible. Okay? It is not such a mechanical process that professional Bhagavatam reciters can do a job on behalf of third grade materialistic pseudo devotees. Pseudo devotees means false devotees. The professional men are useless in this connection because they're neither self-realized nor interested in liberation of the audience. Okay, these are people who make money out of reciting one sloka here, talking about management concepts and things like that. Okay, they make money out of it. That means they're into fruitative thoughts. They may say Bhagavad Gita, but their thoughts are fruitative. Okay. They're simply interested in maintaining material establishment of family attachment, earning some material benefits out of their profession. They just want some material benefits. Maharaj Parikshit had no more than 7 days to live. But for others, Maharaj Parikshit personally recommends that one hear Srimad Bhagavatam regularly. Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Always be one's own effort with serious devotion also. That will help one to see Lord Krishna manifest in one's heart in no time. So, liberation. Liberation comes in 2 stages. The first stage of liberation is that you will see or you will feel the Lord in your heart at all times. You'll experience it. You'll experience the presence of Lord and you'll experience the presence of Lord's bliss in you. This is amazing. This is the first stage of liberation. That means while you are in this body, in this material world, you may live for 20 years, 30 years, but you will experience Lord every second, every minute. This is what Mahaprabhu demonstrates in Chaitanya Charitamrita also. So this is the first stage of liberation. Second stage of liberation is at the time of death, this blissful nature, remembrance of Lord will culminate so powerfully that you will just leave this body, not interested in this body anymore, and you straight away take the shelter of the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. Possess a spiritual Lord. That's what it says. The Soda devotee, however, is very anxious to see the Lord according to his whims, not making any efforts to hear Srimad Bhagavatam. That is not the way recommended by an authority like Maharaj Parikshit, who heard and benefited by hearing Srimad. Right? So, because his consciousness was so much, he could not stop his questions at all. He kept on asking questions. How much questions he asked? He asked questions till the last day. That means in the next few minutes, Takshaka is going to come and kill him. He had questions till that time. And all those questions were answered by Sukadeva Goswami. So that should be nature of our consciousness. Okay? So we'll stop here. So today's sloka is all about Shinvatam Swakata Krishna Punyashravam Kirtana. Hridayantasto hi abhidhayanti ostu abhidrani. Vidnoti Sugarat Satam. Sugarat Satam. Right? So much of hearing of Bhagavatam will purify our heart. Right? We will completely be in a state of peace. Purify our senses. Purify our life. That is the glory of hearing Srimad. That's what Naradaji is stressing.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, the first sloka also refers to Yasya Prasadat Bhagavat Prasadu.
Yes. Correct. Through the mercy of Naradaji or through the mercy of a spiritual master, we're able to come to this platform. That's exactly what Parikshit Maharaj came into understanding. That's what the sloka means. Okay? Great.
Prabhu, you gave that picture, no, Prabhu. Krishna can be reached by bhakti, like the subtle body, mind, and all those things. I mean, if that is the right way of doing, suppose we use the senses, which are influenced by the sense objects, that can lead to lust also in the same way, isn't it, Prabhu?
Yes, correct. That leads to lust. So because it leads to lust, people commit offenses against others. When we are not purified, Mataji, we become envious of others, angry at others, we find fault with others, we play political games with others in an impurified mind. So, we should be aware. See, the mind pops up with many of these desires, as I want to do this, but you should know, when a gardener is growing a crop, let's say a gardener is growing beans, right? Beans is a creeper. You will see many other weed creepers also growing along with beans. You will not know the difference at all. You'll think both are same. But you will see the beans plant will yield beans, but the creeper, the weed creeper will look like beans, but will not yield anything.
Correct.
So, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tells, please uproot. please uproot the weeds immediately. Dangerous for you. Now, what you did, you immediately said, okay, let's uproot all of them. Taka came and you uprooted. But since you didn't know enough Shastric knowledge, you didn't know what does a weed look like, and you didn't know what bhakti looks like. Because they look both, the beans plant and the wheat plant look both similar. So, accidentally, you uprooted the beans plant also. That means you uprooted bhakti also from you. You do that because of your offense.
So knowledge is important.
Yes. Knowledge is important. Practical knowledge is important. That means you need to have pragmatic approach to bhakti.
But Prabhu, like whatever you're telling, 100% I cannot grasp.
It's a progression. Mataji, it's a progression.
Yes.
Your 12th standard student was able to understand the 11th portion very nicely. That's why he went to 12th standard. But first standard student, if you ask him to learn the 11th standard portion, it is not possible for him to learn. So he progresses stage by stage. So ours is also combination. You learn, you hear, sadhana bhakti. You learn, hear, sadhana bhakti. When we do this on a continuous basis, what happens? You progress, your consciousness progress. Krishna opens up. Krishna is the one who teaches this knowledge. I am not teaching this knowledge. Krishna is the one who is teaching this knowledge to you.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes.
Because you're showing interest. If you show interest, no, I want to be a medical line only till death, then Krishna will never show you the glory of Bhagavatam to you. He'll only expose you to greater medical students, greater medical innovations, greater medical research papers, and you'll go only in that line because that's your desire. Now you're showing desire. No, there's a limitation to it, but I want to do Srimad Bhagavatam more. So Krishna is saying more and more of this to you.
Yes.
That's exactly. So what your consciousness, that's your direction of life.
Okay. Thank you so much for the wonderful class in the morning. That makes my day. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji.
Prabhu, one doubt, Prabhu. So along with this knowledge which Krishna himself is giving directly, so the mercy is also included in that only, no, Prabhu?
Yeah, without mercy, why will I give you? For example, Mataji, you came and asked me, Prabhu, my husband keeps complaining. I don't know to make on simple idli also. Whenever I make idli, it is so hard, so he doesn't eat properly. That's your complaint to me. What did I tell you? I will tell you a recipe which will make good idlis for you. No, but I'm not having any mercy on you, no love on you. What do? I'll give you a wrong recipe to you.
Okay. Yes.
Okay? And your idli will be much more worse than originally.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Correct? So the fact that the Lord is giving you this opportunity, the fact that the Lord is showing you this direction, the right manner, is the mercy.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Hare Krishna. Any other questions? I hope you all enjoyed today's class. I hope you all were able to, accept many facts and details.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. Please read the purports. I'm repeating once again. Read the purports, read important slokas. Make yourself great devotees. Just don't be devotees. Make yourself become great devotees. Go back home, back to Godhead. Okay. Grandhara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gurudev ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande. Vanchakalpatarobhyascha kripa sindhubhyevacha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Vaishnava Thakur Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande.
Thank you. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam for the excellent.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Dandavat Pranam.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Dandavat Pranam.
I was asking questions.
Prabhu. Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam.
1 minute, you wait for all people to stop their dandavats, then you can ask.
ಲೋಕೇಶ್ವರಿ ಮಾತಾಜಿ ಪ್ರೇಯರ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರಭುಜಿ.
Good. See, we forgot. Please wait, all of you, please wait. We'll just offer prayers to Lokeshwari Mataji. She's going through a lot of health hazards. She's got what is called as a wheezing problem, right? It's called asthmatic, right? Asthma. So she's suffering a lot. Yesterday, She got breathlessness. She couldn't breathe also. Then Pramod Prabhu went morning, 3 a.m. in the morning, took her from her house and then admitted into the hospital, Sagar Apollo, near the temple. So where she's admitted. We don't know her case. So we'll pray for her. What is our prayer? Our prayer should be, yes, you can pray for good health for her, but importantly pray that if at all Mataji is going to leave this body, let her remember, let the Lord shower all the mercy on her so that she remembers the Lord and leaves the body. We'll offer prayer like that so that she goes back home back to God, if at all she is going to go, given her age and condition. Okay? Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama,
Rama, Hare.
Okay. Thank you all. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam, Prabhu.
Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Dandavat Pranam Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranams.
Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam. Okay. I'll end the